Let's chat executive functioning skills. So, executive functioning skills, we're referring to the ability to problem solve, cope, self management skills, and just those higher level, complex, critical thinking skills. And so, there are many, many components to executive functioning skills, and at times, teaching reinforcing and really going in and shaping these executive functioning skills can be really difficult. They're extremely complex, and sometimes being able to break down these really critical thinking skills that are kind of gray and less black and white are really hard to break them down into smaller steps or into task analysis. But the number one component and the foundation of all executive functioning skills is just the ability to attend. And so this is just the ability to take notice and provide attention to something in a functional and accurate way so that we're able to take in, retain, and maintain new information. And so what a task analysis of attending might look like is just going to be step one, eyes on the task. So this is the eyes on the speaker? Are the eyes on the teacher? Are the eyes on the book or the reading material? Is the eyes on the worksheet? Whatever it is, the task at hand, we're going to go in and target and collect data and reinforce just the eyes attending toward whatever it is, the task at hand. What about congruent body function? And so some of this might necessarily, it's going to display appropriate attending behavior, but it's not necessarily going to give 100% reliability or accuracy of an individual is actively attending. But some of this is just kind of also teaching those pro-social and appropriate social skills and what attending might look like. So congruent body posture. So are they oriented towards the speaker? Are their legs facing the speaker? Are their hands quiet and in a non-distracting way? So just having congruent body posture towards the task, activity, or speaker at hand. Is their voice off? Going in and really just collecting data on those intervals of while we're attending, if we are listening, we're not speaking, our voice is off. What about our facial expressions and head movements? So if there are some kind of rhetorical questions, are we nodding? Are we shaking our head no to if the answer is no? Am I looking interested by kind of eyebrows raised and maybe smiling? Just some of those congruent facial expressions displaying those pro-social responses that would be congruent with attending and listening. And then restating. So if I give a direction, then I'm going to request the individual then to restate that back to me to double check to ensure that the information was heard and that they've maintained it and are able to restate it. And that's going to kind of check on some of that comprehension. So can they restate or give a summary of the information that was just delivered? And then lastly, I'm going in and giving some comprehension checks. So I might just be going in and asking some WH questions about some information, answering some simple yes or no questions, answering some simple WH questions, or it might just be more complex in the sense of I need them to just provide me a blanket summary of the information that was provided to them. So let's go back through that task analysis of breaking attending behavior down to smaller steps, eyes on task, congruent body posture, their voice is off, their facial expressions or head movements are congruent with listening and attending behavior. They're able to restate the information. And the sixth and final task analysis step to attending behavior would be comprehension checks. They can answer questions correctly that would display that they in fact were attending and received the information, maintained it, and were expressively able to identify some comprehension of the information.